Welcome back to the Autosportradio.com 2021 show. We have been off the air for a while because we had some computer problems, but hopefully now they're solved. And off we go. Today's program is being presented by Honda and Honda HPD, the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, the NTT IndyCar Series, SVRA, the Gilbreeze Pub and Eatery and Speedway, and VP Insurance. Are you a collector? Do you have fans that want some goodies from the IndyCar Series? And I got a place for you to go. It's called the500shop.com. If Michael doesn't have it, it isn't in existence. So check it out, the500shop.com. If you have a problem with a computer, as we did, place to go is the A+ Computer Doctor. Dr. Steve Fries can help you out, and he's got an office now. It's located at 549 Fleming Street, which is on West Washington, about a mile and a half, 2 miles east of 465. And it's on the northeast corner behind a dentist office and across the street from the Levi store. So, and he's also looking for an experienced computer tech. If you have experience and are looking for a job, give him a call. His number is 317-398-7711. That's Steve Fries at the A+ Computer Doctor. Of course, one of your favorite doctor's visit is the dentist, but I recommend somebody you will look forward to going to. That's the Indy Dental Group. Indy 500 veteran Dr. Jack Miller and his wife, Dr. Liz Lewis, have a spectacular practice. You love all the people. You love going there. It's not something you go, oh no. But when you need to see a dentist, or if you haven't seen one in a while, go and see him. I'm assuring you, you will be glad you did. The number to make an appointment, 317-846-6125. And the vice president of the SVRA, Mark Dill, has his book out. It's called The Legend of the First Super Speedway, Battle for the Soul of American Auto Racing. I have read it. It is spectacular. You've got to get yourself a copy. It's available almost anywhere. So get a copy of it. It's a great book. You'll enjoy the heck out of it. And also, Paul Page's book is out. It's called Hello, I'm Paul Page. It's Race Day in Indianapolis. Great stories from the great broadcaster, Paul, over the years, and you'll be enjoying it. It's now out, so you get yourself a copy and read it. It's really worthwhile. Is it time to renew your insurance for your home, your car, or commercial property? Do what the Indiana Commissioner of Insurance says. Check your prices. Make sure you're getting the best price, because after a few years, they kind of take it for granted, and up it goes. Mike Pardee saved me and a lot of people a lot of money. So give him a call, tell him what you need, and he'll help you. The number is 317-248-0070. That's VP Insurance, 5004 West 16th Street in Speedway. And if you've ever wondered, why do these guys and gals like to drive Indy cars fast? Well, find out why. Take a ride in an Indy Racing Experience 2-seater. You will love it. You can call the office to make arrange a ride. The number is 317-243-7171 and ask for Shonda. Or you can go online at indyracingexperience.com, find a date that will fit for you, and take a ride. And in the promo box, or when you're talking to Shonda, give them DK1, you get a 50% discount. SVRA is getting bigger and better every day. They now are the owners of the Trans Am Series, and it's making a huge comeback. Plus, of course, the vintage racing that they have. So go to svra.com and click on the schedule button, find out where they are and when, and if they're anywhere near in a day's drive, I highly recommend you go. It's a great show, and if you want to keep up with what's going on, subscribe to Speed Tour Magazine. Just go to svra.com and subscribe to Speed Tour Magazine. It is a first-class publication. You'll love it. And if you have a vintage car, you would like one, the Grant King shops can help you. Give them a call, tell them what you have or what you're looking for, and they can help you out. The number is 317-820-3595. My guest today is a young lady who is fairly well known in the world of IndyCar racing. She's married to a guy that has something to do with Ed Carpenter Racing, strangely enough. And this is his wife, who is, among other things, a realtor and president of the Indy Family Foundation. Please welcome Heather Carpenter. Heather, I appreciate your time, because I know you have 3 kids and they're friends, and you're busy all the time.
It's always busy, always something going on. I laughed this summer. Our schedule is I have a drop off at 8:30, 9, a pickup at 10, 10:30, 11, a drop off at 12, 1, and then pick up at 1:30, a leave at the house at 5, a drop off at 6, a pick up at 7. It's crazy. It's a crazy summer.
Boy. Now, you're a graduate of Butler University, and you met somebody there.
Actually, I'm Purdue. Ed's Butler.
Oh, that's right, Purdue. Sorry about that.
No,
sorry, Boilermakers. So
I still like Butler too.
how nice. Before you met Ed, were you a race fan?
I was not. I grew up in Indiana, so I knew the Indy 500 and watched it every May. But I was, not really a big racing fan, but I was a nurse. I ended up becoming a nurse at the track, and that's kind of how I started, my love of racing.
Fortunately, you love racing because you probably are around it 7 days a week, not necessarily 24 hours, because you've got kids making 17 trips during the day that occupies your mind. But what got you in, what piqued your interest in motorsports?
I just happened to be at the right place at the right time. I was working at Methodist in the emergency room, and Dr. Bach, who was the head medical director at the time, asked if I had any interest in coming to help look at the crash data. I think I was cheap labor at that time. I was a nursing student. And so I started doing that. And then who could not fall in love with racing once you are there live in person and see the product, and especially IndyCar, who can't fall in love with it?
I agree. I came here in 1960 something or 2 or something, and I'm still here. It's easy to get hooked on the sport. You're also in real estate. You have time in between trips to and from schools and practice and so forth to being heavily involved in real estate.
Well, that's kind of how I ended up in real estate. Was the nursing, you have to actually be somewhere, at an actual hospital or a job. So with real estate, I can do a lot of it from the phone or my computer while I'm traveling back and forth. And luckily my office has, great people that is able, when I'm out of town traveling, they're able to go show houses for me or do those things. So it's more flexibility than any other job would have allowed me to do. So that's the best part about real estate.
Well, now you are the president of what is the Benevolent Fund of Motorsports, doing business here that most people will be familiar with in Indianapolis with the Indy Family Foundation. How did you get involved in that, and what prompted you to put that together?
So back in 2006, when Ed was involved in a really bad accident with Paul Dana at that time, and unfortunately Paul lost his life, we kind of came to realize at that time that there wasn't really an organization around that supported the families of drivers, and not only drivers, but IndyCar mechanics, crew members, just anybody, reporters, journalists, anybody that's involved in racing. There wasn't really an organization that supported those family members when they come upon those hard times. And so we kind of started that then as a way to not only financially help them, but also provide through IndyCar ministry. We had Father Glenn, who is always a huge supporter and backer of us, just kind of that helping hand and that, caring heart to let them know that someone was here that cared about them and that we're here to support them.
You will help anybody. And I heard media, so if I fall down the stairs, I can call.
That's right. You can, as long as you've been credentialed by a racing sanctioning body. So and it's like I said, it's not just IndyCar. It could be any type of racing. It just has to be a racing sanctioning body.
You have helped a lot over the years, and helped a lot of families. One member of, I think, of IndyCar lost his house, lost everything, and you helped him out there. And there was another driver that got injured and paralyzed, and you helped him when he needed a vehicle, and you helped him accomplish that. It's got to be kind of nice to say we did something. We helped somebody in need that was involved in the sport.
It is, we try to keep everybody who we help anonymous unless they're willing to speak about what we've done. And it's a good feeling to know that if somebody needs us, that we're there. Recently, Lindy Thaxton, who's a reporter on Fox 59 News, who's the IMS broadcaster, we've helped her and she talks about it. So I'm able to talk about it. But it's just those unexpected times that you don't expect that you're going to need our help. And the best part about Lindy was, she was a part of the Indy Family Foundation. She helped us put on our fundraisers and our street festivals and all those things. And, unfortunately later, who would have ever guessed that she'd be one that we'd have to, come back and help. But it was so rewarding to me that we were able to do that and be able to be there for her when she was there for other people in the past.
You have quite a board, and it's all voluntary, if I'm not mistaken. Everybody is volunteers. You got a number of directors, one who I'm in contact with quite frequently, Nina Ray. So I know, some of the things and so forth, but you have meetings. With the last year being what it was, your fundraiser obviously went away. Are you still able to get donations? Were people still thinking of you?
We were able to get some trickling in throughout the year, thanks to you. You mentioning our name at different times, or different people, and different people doing different things like that. Unfortunately, as life gets busier and more hectic in my life, I feel guilty because I can't do all those fundraisers and those things that I was able to dedicate so much time to before and in the past. And probably here in the near future, I will be stepping away from this just because I can't dedicate that time that needs to be given to it. And hopefully some young blood or somebody will come in that is able to do that and give it all the attention and do all those fundraisers. And our hope is eventually, now with Roger being in charge of the Speedway and different things, that we can come some kind of partnership where we can figure out a way to make sure we're there and be able to continue for years to come and continue to support those that need us.
Have you got anybody in mind who would have the time and willing to put it up like you do and did and have?
I don't right now. If you know of anybody, let me know.
If someone wants to make a donation, and again, I can assure you, because I know of several people that have benefited from it, and I won't say who they are because it doesn't matter. The fact is that the Indy Family Foundation does come through if there is a need and they're willing to do it. But if somebody wants to help you, support you, how can they do that?
Yeah, they can just go to our website, the IndyFamilyFoundation.com, and they can apply through there. You'll see it on there, all the information.
Including your phone number.
My phone number's on there.
Yeah, it is. I already had it, but I didn't realize it, so I put it in the phone. Your name popped. Geez, I have it anyway.
I'm easy to get hold of. You can find me on real estate signs. You can find me anywhere.
Yeah, you can also see you in traffic going back and forth to school, to practices, and all kinds of stuff.
Anywhere. I'm doing all kinds of things. Right now, I'm helping the Children's Museum with their sponsorship for their haunted house. So I do it all. You name it.
Oh, boy. Jeez, it's amazing. Do you get home in time to fix dinner?
We usually don't get home until like 9:30, 10 with the way sports are. So it's a lot of fast food at my house.
Well, that's all right too. Now you're going this weekend, starting Friday, Saturday, and Sunday is of course at Road America. Will you be there for the full weekend, or do you have other obligations that will pull you away?
So we'll be there for the start of the weekend. My kids love going to Road America. There's a hotel there called Blue Harbor that is amazing. It's beautiful. And actually a racing person owns it. Jerry Forsyth owns this hotel. So we go there and stay. So we'll go there up until Sunday, and we'll see qualifying and practice. But unfortunately, the kids and I are going to miss the race. We're going to leave Sunday morning, and they are all going to camp next week. So I will drop them off on my way home. We'll stop in Northern Indiana and drop them off at camp.
And you got a week off or 2 weeks?
I get a week. It's pretty nice.
Wow.
And I say that, but it's not really a week off. I'm going to use that to get all my continuing education hours in for real estate and catch up on everything else I've got to do, and maybe clean the house a little bit too. It needs it.
Don't be hasty now. Come on, slow down a little bit. I got to assume when you first started, going to races and involved with Ed and watching Ed, that you probably initially would get nervous. Are you still that way?
It's a different thing. I think with my medical background, I feel like he's safer in the car than he is on the interstate or driving anywhere else. But of course you're nervous always. I get nervous watching my kids, the boys play hockey, or my daughter's a pole vaulter. So I get nervous watching her pole vault. But at the same time, it's more of you just want him to do well. You want to have a good weekend. So those nerves are more of that. You want to leave there having had a great weekend, and, preparing you for the next week. So I think those are more what the nerves are, less than those nerves of fear, danger, those sort of things.
Well, as a nurse, I'm sure hanging around a race shop where there are several cars sitting there, that you have observed them. And from your medical eye, they appear to me anyway, and I'm curious of your thought, quite safe compared to what they were back when I first came. I mean, the driver's head was sticking up. You could see everything he wore. If he had a scarf over his mouth, because they weren't full face mask helmets at the time. But, what they've done with the cars now, some of the crashes that have been happening, the driver essentially gets out. He might limp a little, but he gets out.
Oh, it's amazing. Even, the time I've been around, the concussion rate has gone down so much, the spinal cord injury, the way that, they've changed how the drivers sit in the cars. So this has reduced the amount of spinal injuries and their extremity injuries have decreased. I mean, it's just been amazing what they continue to do and how the cars continue to evolve. And again, you also have to credit the safety team. We have the most amazing safety team that is there so quickly to take care of the guys, and the doctors, the nurses, the staff. I mean, you can't ask for better people to put your spouse's hands into.
And I have found over the years, and I've been around a few years, when I talk to drivers about safety, they say what's the most important to them is when somebody sticks their head in the car, they know who they are. It's not somebody that they brought into the track from outside. It's, it could be an EMT or something, but the series takes its own medical people, so the drivers and crew, they all know who they are. Right? To me, that is big.
I completely agree. They all have a friendly face that's there welcoming them. And it's just that comfort level that you can't ask for. And the IndyCar has always been on top of the safety aspects. And we've just been fortunate to be a part of that and be on the cutting edge of all of that.
Do you practice medicine anymore other than at home with your own 3 patients?
Just with kids. A lot of tears for injuries at home, though I feel like it's blisters and things like that anymore. Sports injuries, that kind of thing.
Of course, in hockey, back when I started, there was no such thing as a helmet or a face mask. The goalies used to look at him and you thought they sure got in a fight with a stick, but instead you got hit in the face with a puck. Everything has gotten safer and better. So that I got to assume, other than lesser inquiries of the Indy Family Foundation from whatever injury, or more of other problems that come up, because the drivers really don't get hurt all that bad, unless of course you're out with your trainer and you fall off your bicycle, hurt your finger.
Who would do that? No, yeah, I feel like we mainly help crew members, and like I said, IndyCar officials, reporters, people affiliated with racing and their families. And I think a lot of that is they just didn't have the insurance coverage or a plan for when times like that come upon, when you come upon those hard times. I think you think your health insurance or your salary will continue, and those things don't necessarily always happen. So it's nice to be able to be there, to be able to help continue to pay their medical bills or help them afford their groceries or continue their house payment, just anything that needs to be done.
Are you looking for more contributions to add to what you
We're always, of course,
I might mention a very good friend of mine passed away a couple of weeks ago, and we were arranged to have the funeral parlor put out envelopes. I sent the address and all your information so that people could make the donation. So if you have a friend that's anywhere interested in racing or anything, and they unfortunately pass away, you can have envelopes printed by the facility for the Indy Family Foundation, so you can make a contribution to them in the name of a race fan, which I think is really kind of cool.
Thank you so much, and I'm sorry about your loss.
Well, we're going to another one who was a staunch supporter of autosport. Every Tuesday, they came from New Palestine, almost every Tuesday, and he passed away, surprisingly, and his funeral is this Saturday, and we're going to try and arrange the same thing, have envelopes there, because he was a race nut, and I think he would really like having something in his name donated to you, and not you personally, but Indy Family Foundation.
Well, thank you.
Well, I think it's something worth looking at, because you never know when something's going to happen. You leave the house one morning, you expect to come back to your house, you come back and the thing burned to the ground and everything's gone. Those things do happen on occasion, and it's nice to know that somebody like yourself and your group are there in case of need.
Yeah, you never know what the plan is for any of us. I think that's the nice thing about just being able to know that we're there and you know of anybody, I think too, like getting the word out that we are there. If you hear of anybody that needs our assistance, letting them know about us is important as well.
Well, that's one of the reasons I invited your smile here, so we could talk about that and what it is and where it is and how to get involved. And I think it's very worthwhile because it's my understanding, other than a little bit of administrative charges, all the money goes to those that need.
Correct. Yeah, we're all volunteers, except for like I said, our typical government fees, and we do hire an outside social worker just on a contract basis. That she's the one who, if you apply, all of the communication goes through her. So that way she kind of knows how the best ways to get your most out of your medical coverage, the best grants to apply for. And you can remain anonymous that way. All she does, she reports to us and tells us client A has this going on and this is what she suggests. And she's a wonderful asset to our organization as well.
Well, I wish there's some organizations I could think of that need your guidance on how to do it right and spend money smartly, but that's for another conversation, but not with you and I. Well, it's got to feel good to know that here your husband, Ed Carpenter, very popular driver and has done extremely well at the Speedway. The only thing he's lacking is he's got 3 poles. The only thing he's lacking is getting raised up to the victory circle.
The most important thing.
Yeah. But, it's got to take a lot of work. And was he prepared for team ownership? Was he ready for that? I kind of got the impression from conversations, yeah, that's what he was headed to do.
Yeah, I mean, that's what he always wanted a future in racing. And I think him going to college and getting a degree in business, I think this was where his future was headed, and it probably happened sooner than he thought it would happen, but he was grateful for the opportunity when it presented itself, and it has worked out, for our family, and it's been the best way for our family to continue in racing, and hopefully it provides and is something for our kids to do in the future as well.
I thought the neatest sponsor that he had, or anybody in IndyCar had, was Fuzzy Vodka. I had him on the program one night, and I spent most of the time on the floor.
Oh, he's entertaining, that's for sure. Very entertaining.
When people would recognize him and he'd stop and talk to them and sign autographs, pose for pictures. Really, I thought, really something cool for the series. Too bad he had to bail out or leave. Well, I know you have things to do, place to go, people to pick up and deliver. So I will thank you for your time.
Thank you.
I want to remind them one more time, what's your website address to look up and want to get involved here, where to go?
It is IndyFamilyFoundation.com.
And is it a 501c3?
We are a 501c3. And like I said, it's all volunteers except for that couple administration fees, and that's all. We've been now around since 2006. And we've given away a total of almost like $6 million.
How much?
Almost $6 million. And some of it was as a pass through. We've also served as that for some of the stuff, but yeah.
Well, I will hold on to the railing as I go downstairs so I don't fall and come knocking on your door. But thank you for your time. Wish Ed nothing but the best this weekend, and I appreciate you taking the time. And who knows, maybe some checks will arrive.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We appreciate it. Thank you so much for having me.
My pleasure, believe me.
Thank you. Have a wonderful day.
You too. And my guest has been Heather Carpenter, the wife of Ed Carpenter, the mother of 3 kids that are all over the county, or the state for that matter, and involved with Ed Carpenter Racing. And of course, he is the president of the Indy Family Foundation. Check out the website, indyfamilyfoundation.com. Make a donation. It goes to a good cause, and it's just not some yo-ho comes along, I need help. They investigate it and make sure it's legit. It's worth it. Until next time, Don Kay saying thanks for Heather for being here. Thanks for you watching. We'll see you the next time out. Good night.